Hello, everyone, and welcome to this bonus NASS episode. I am your host for this episode, Jose.
I am your other guy, George.
I am Marie.
And today we will be covering the next part of this little segment that we've had going. Today we're going to be covering 2010 to 2014. Now we started this back in 1980, and we've been covering our some of our favorite horror movies for every 5 year time period. So you can see those on our Not a Strong Start channel if you want to view and if you haven't yet. Some of the movies that we have discussed. We're not about the past, we are about the present. So we are going to focus on 2010 to 2014. So with no further ado, let's get into it. Now, I narrowed it down to three. It was tough to narrow it down to three, but I narrowed it down to three, and it took me a while to decide which one I was going to pick. And I ended up going with out of the three choices, the only really non-comedic one. So for my choice, I'm going with a movie that was a remake of a beloved by many movie. I'm not the many, just to say that. But that is 2013's Evil
Yeah.
Dead. And if you guys didn't guess by my statement, I am not really a huge fan of the original Evil Dead. I don't dislike it, but the hype just never got me. It was okay, and I just never get the desire to like rewatch it. There, I said it. It is what it is. The original one there. But the original, it was meant to be a horror movie, but it ended up turning into more, comedy. And in the end, they just kind of leaned into it for like the rest of the series, and it became what it is. Now, this remake, it's what I think the original was meant to be. It's straight horror, and it doesn't lean into the comedic aspects at all. And it's very well done. It's directed by Fede Alvarez, who I am a big fan of, and I've kind of become more and more of a fan, as kind of we've gone along. And it's not often that a remake never mind surpasses, but like even equals the original one. And I feel this was able to surpass the original to me. And it's the only one I will rewatch. The original Evil Dead has been out for how long? When did that come out?
Was that 1980? 1979, something like that?
And probably within the first few years, I rewatched this remake more than I ever saw the original. This one has more rewatchability because of the horror and the way it was done, and it's done right. So that's why this was my choice for this time period. I gotta give respect to the remake that surpassed the original. What do you guys' thoughts on this one? Marie looks eager to say something.
I feel like this
Well,
may have
that
been
was
her movie.
well, yeah. The Evil Dead remake is my favorite horror movie of all time. So I had to obviously pick it for mine, but I'll pick another one. But since all of my notes are for this movie, I'm just gonna hop on Jose's back with a ladder and piggyback on him right now. Jose, I wholeheartedly agree, except for the fact that I actually enjoy the first Evil Dead. That's another favorite horror movie of mine. I got my Necronomicon pillow back there. I love the first Evil Dead. Love it. I am not the biggest fan of Evil Dead 2 because it's too silly and comedic for me. I it's not that I hate it, but I highly prefer the first one because there's more horror elements. There's scenes in it that I don't think should have been taken out for the second one. But let me talk about 2013 because Jose, I'm with you. Favorite horror movie ever. It pays homage to Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2 and a little bit even of just some Army of Darkness humor in it as well. You say it's not humorous, but there is a little bit of humor in the remake in my mind. But they took it, they made it more disturbing, more scary, but they paid a really good tribute to the originals. And this movie's not like a soulless remake cash grab. It's a heartfelt tribute, and you could tell that Fede is passionate about the originals. There's fan service throwbacks in it, like the necklace and the car that Ash drives in the first one. Mia's sitting on at the beginning. There's a Michigan State sweater that's in Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2. The cards are in it. There's a lot of fan service, but it feels natural and organic to this movie. The score and the sound design, awesome. That like siren sound that comes in every now and then, like "Rrrr," it's just the tension that it gives me. Oof, I love that sound. The opening segment is so amazing. It gets you tricked thinking that, this girl's poor little victim and these white hillbilly guys are like these, they're the bad guys, but they're not. It's such a good opening segment. The acting's super good. The makeup, the effects. I love the fact that they kept the tree scene in, but changed it to suit the story. Because you can watch this movie as a horror movie just as it is. And it's just like telling a story about a girl and her brother, and they're all going to the cabin, and then evil comes, and deadites are happening. But I watched it with my brother when I went to visit him a few years ago, and he was like, "This movie could also be 100% metaphor just for addiction because she is like a heroin addict in it. And it could be all in her mind. It could be her losing her family, like a metaphor for her losing her family and her friends. Like none of this is happening. It's all her overcoming her addiction. The fact that, spoiler alert, in the end, she cuts off what would be her injected arm. That's the arm she cuts off, and then she goes out into the sunlight after, and it's like she's free from it. The fact that the person she sees in the forest when the tree scene happens is herself, with the tree root coming out of her mouth and then entering herself. First of all, ballsy as hell to keep that scene in. Very smart way to change it so it's like she's effing herself in a sense. Instead of the tree violating her, it's her violating herself, which is what she does with her addiction. So you can look at it that way as like an artsy metaphor for addiction, or you can just look at it like a fun horror way, and both ways work. Just my favorite horror movie ever. And thank you, Jose, for bringing it up. But I feel like I need to say a different one after George talks about this and I do have another one. I actually have three other ones, but I have another one. But I'll be last. I'll wait till George talks about his. But yes, thank you for talking about that, Jose, because I think it's a masterpiece, an absolute masterpiece, and better than all the original ones put together, in my opinion.
We've talked about this in the past, and I'm glad we're talking about it again because I love The Evil Dead. Evil Dead, The Evil Dead, all of it. I disagree on the parts that some of you guys said. To me, they're all amazing. I love every Evil Dead. Flat statement. There's nothing
Wait,
better than Evil Dead.
does that include Rise? Because I know
Whoa, whoa,
we
whoa.
have
Okay,
someone
let me
here
backtrack
that
here.
hates Rise.
Let me
Rise
backtrack
doesn't
here.
count.
Let me
Rise doesn't
backtrack.
count.
The real Evil Dead series. So we got the Evil Dead, anything that has Ash in it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta be more specific. I'm sorry. The Ash series, the Ash,
Okay.
franchise, whatever you want to consider it, the chronological order of Ash's life, everything that, even the show, Ash versus the Evil Dead, also great. People sleep on that show. Everything with his thing, and they keep the Ash thing alive, just in a different format in this remake. And I too think it has to be the best remake ever, honestly, because like
Yes.
like you said, like it pulls off what other remakes wishes they can do. We get so many remakes of other films, and they just shit the bed in so many ways. They try to be original or try to pay homage, and they just fail on every front. This does the homage, and it's still original in its own way. It does things honestly elevated compared to the other movies, in the way that's supposed to be scary. You talk about it, Jose, how the first one tried to be scary and it didn't work out, and they just leaned into what did work for them. I never hated that. I thought that was a great pivot and learning from your mistakes, per se. This was just like, hey, I love what you did. I think I can make it scary for you guys. And the fact that Raimi and Bruce Campbell signed off on it as producers and supported it, I actually got to see a panel they did at WonderCon, I think the year that this was being released. And so Bruce Campbell and Raimi were there talking about it and everything, and some of the cast. And someone asked, kind of like what we would think, is like, aren't we done with remakes? It's like, how is this going to be any different or any better than the original? And Bruce Campbell, like the golden child he is just like, if you fucking want to watch the original, watch the original. It's not going anywhere. It's all right.
Yeah.
He's like, but if you want to see something that's gonna scare your fucking balls off, watch this movie because the things that this girl has to do is fucking mind blowing. And I'm paraphrasing some of it, but you can guarantee a lot of swearing was had because it's Bruce Campbell,
Mm.
and he has no hold on that tongue of his. But when they talked about it, I was like, I'm sold. Let me get this movie, and it doesn't disappoint. Like there's that scene where she's just like vomiting and just the blood and everything's
Yeah.
coming out. And it's funny because like I know Jose doesn't like splat stick horror, which is given to us by the original Evil Dead. This I don't think does that. It just gives us
No.
pure gore. It's just bathed in gore in the best possible way. And the fact that she really had to have like a tube in her mouth to gush all that stuff out, it's like, oh my God, I hope you got paid well. That's just
Yeah.
ridiculous. But no, it's a gory, beautiful freaking masterpiece in my opinion.
I have a smile on my face the whole time I'm watching that movie. If we ever get together in real life and we watch that movie, please, I'm like this the whole time. I'm just like it is a pure joyride to me. I adore it.
A movie we are all fully in agreement of its greatness.
Unlike last week's episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, every once in a while we're on the exact same page as well.
Mhm.
All right, George, move on to you. What is your choice for 2010 to 2014?
Because I have to be different, and Lord knows I wanted to pick Evil Dead also. Uh,
Yeah.
uh I'm back to giving something a little off the rails here. So I'm gonna go with a foreign film from Norway, which is Troll Hunter. And Marie, this should make you happy because it's a found footage film.
I just watched it for the first time like 2 months ago.
And it's really good.
For the
And
first
it's
time. Yeah.
yeah, and for me, I think it's a big deal when I say things like this because I think we know I'm not a found footage guy. It's not my favorite genre. I can live without it, honestly, for the most part. But every once in a while, one creeps in, and it had to come from overseas to get me. And I love the idea of this one of just like these students trying to do this little like undercover thing of like this bear poaching thing happening. And all of a sudden they uncover something unbelievable, which is that the government has been hunting trolls this whole time. And they just keep it under wraps so that the government, that the society and people just don't know about it. And I think that the graphics for that time was like 2010 that it came out. Not bad for its time. I mean, like some of it might seem a little cheesy, but I think having it at night because trolls can't be out during the day and having it be on that little handheld camcorder kind of stuff
Yeah.
does a lot of favors for them, and it helps out on those special effects. But I think it's a well done story. The stakes are high at times for them, even though it's not relatable because it's trolls. It's like, okay, trolls. I can't be afraid of something that's not real, you know. But I
Not
think
the type of trolls we deal with.
yeah, me and Marie know that all too well.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And there's not much I have to like talk about and ruin here. It's just like if it's found footage, you know what you're gonna get with that. But I think like for instance, my wife can't watch too much shaky cam. I feel like the shakiness wasn't too bad. It's there, but if you're someone who can't handle too much of it, I think they do a good job of nullifying a good amount of it, and just keeping it mostly steady most of the time. So you get to see what's happening, which is usually my complaint with the found footage is you don't get to see everything. Things are visible. But yeah, trying to hold back giving away scenes and stuff like that. I think it was just a really fun movie. You're gonna have to read some, but it's well worth it, in my opinion. And I love the character of the guy who hunts the trolls.
Yeah.
Like he's just like an awesome character.
So this is actually one that I have not seen, so I will pass it on to Marie to give her thoughts on it, since she is a recent viewer of that movie.
It took a while for me to watch it. I don't know if I couldn't find it for a while here in Canada. I don't know why it took us so long because we've tried to watch like every found footage movie available. So
It moves
this
around a bit
movie,
on streaming services.
yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
does. It does. I think it's like was just on YouTube to rent or Tubi now. So we're
Mm.
like, okay, cool, we'll watch it. Because we watch like the horror shows that are like, oh, the best of this, best of that. Or if I follow a lot of found footage horror pages on Instagram, and Troll Hunter's always on there, like as one of the best. And the acting is all it's hard to tell acting when it's like a foreign country. And I'm like, I think
Yeah.
this is good. They seem like they're good, but it seems like they're doing a good job. It feels like it's silly because it's trolls, like you say, but there is a seriousness to it. Like it's not over the top silly, even though the concept is silly. It's hard to explain. And I think a lot of it has to do with the main character because you believe him so much that this guy's a freaking troll hunter. And I wasn't expecting it to have this like political angle to it. And I
Yeah.
remember really liking that very much. I was just like, damn, I was expecting the politics, but I loved that. I loved the ending was really good too. Yeah, the graphics are pretty good, but at the same time, I feel like graphics when it comes to something like trolls, I can forgive it more than being, like flying ghost children in a graveyard. Anyway, but
uh
it's like this has to I know it's gonna look fake to some degree because
Yeah.
it's a big ass troll in the forest, you know? And there are things that don't really exist. So they got to use their imagination in creating them. And I don't know. I think it was a fun, but like easy watch with like cool political angles. So yeah, recommend it. That's a good one.
And I would say the stakes rise as you go along too. Like
Yeah.
with each
Yeah.
troll encounter, like we discover there's different forms of trolls, there's different kind of like factions or like breeds of troll and everything. And there's kind of an outbreak going on. I'd even say there's even like a religious undertone to some aspects because of the fact that the trolls can sniff out if you believe in God
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
There's something there too.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Don't believe in God. It gets you into trouble.
Yeah, trolls will sniff it out.
I'm always an advocate for the use of real trolls over any CGI or anything like that. You know,
I, I
you're
agree
leaving trolls without
wholeheartedly.
jobs. Okay, that's trolls without jobs.
Yeah.
Uh,
True.
with that, Marie, you have requested to go last. What is
Oh.
your movie for 2010 to 2014? Well, your second movie
Yeah, you're
since
runner
I
up.
took your first one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had three runner-ups, and obviously one was The Conjuring. I don't need to talk about The Conjuring. The Conjuring's awesome, the first one. Willow Creek was another runner-up, which is essentially Blair Witch with Bigfoot. But and I love it. But I have to go with Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. It is, I don't remember, I don't have the year. It's that it came out because I only had all my Evil Dead stuff. But Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, is my favorite installment in the franchise. It is the most fun and it is the most different out of all of them because there's Paranormal Activity, then there's the second one, and then there's Ghost Dimension, which is the worst one. It's terrible. The third one,
Oh no,
then
part three
fourth, and
first.
then
You
Ghost
Yeah.
have
Dimension.
three,
Yeah, the third,
four.
and then this, and then Ghost Dimension, and then Next of Kin, which I also like. But this gives us something so different from like the original four. It's pretty much all kind of the same, where it's like rich white family, and you know you're kind of gonna get hand me down trauma with the witch grandmother. Like it's just kind of like all the same. But this is like they're like it's just like these Latino kids. And then they have like a different perspective of what's going on when they're like tied into it somehow. I'm not gonna give anything away. It's the most comedic and the acting performances, oh my God, are so good. My favorite character, I forget his name, but I follow the actor on Instagram just because he is the heart and soul of this movie. I think his name is Jorge something. Anyway,
Jorge
anyway,
Diaz. Does he
yes, I
play
think so.
Hector?
Jorge. Yes, Hector. Oh my
Yeah.
God, if you watch this movie, just watch it for Hector. I love him. He's the best. But this movie delves more into like a different type of it's not the same thing you're getting. And then there's also like cultural differences where you got like the grandma and and then I don't want to go into it very much. But then there's like a neighbor and there's stuff going on with the neighbor and there's all these and they're living in a little apartment and it's just very different. I don't know. I don't have any notes, so I'm not going to be eloquent here. But Paranormal Activity, the Mark ones is so good. And it's creepy and there are some cheesy things. There are some cheesy aspects to it, but I find the acting the best in this one and just you're rooting for the people the most in this one. I feel the most attached to the characters in this one. And yeah, Paranormal Activity the Marked Ones is so good. I've seen it probably at least 15, 20 times because I love it so much.
I have to agree with you on that one. I definitely did enjoy that one. So with that Paranormal Activity, the first one came out and I was like, oh, okay.
It's
You
good.
know, and then it just, as they kind of kept going, it was just slowly starting to lose me. There just wasn't enough there. I'm like, oh, okay. Now you're just like money grabbing. You're trying to release this on a yearly basis, try to become a
Yeah.
new Saw, and just kind of recycle through these as quickly as possible. And it was starting to seem like a money grab. I'm like, the quality is going down. You're not giving me anything. It's not exciting. It's not entertaining anymore. So I actually did not see this one when it first came out because I think it was Ghost Dimension, the one right before it, kind of lost me, the one right before that one. And I was just like, I'm over it. I'm done. And I forget who it was. Someone was like, this one actually might be worth a try. So I watched it a little bit after it came out, and I was just like, oh, is it back? Like, because sometimes in the series it goes long enough. Sometimes you have those jumpstart like little
Yeah.
installments in between. Like Saw had a few of those where it started going downhill, and you have one that's like, "Oh, is this gonna jumpstart this?" So every once in a while, you had that with extended series, so it looked like it. It wasn't, but it's still, on its own was really good. It's got rewatchability. I agree with Marie 100%. You endear yourself to the characters, and you kind of want to follow them through, and you
Yeah.
care about their play. The other ones, I found myself not really caring about anyone. And I think if you don't care about the characters in a horror movie, that takes away all the tension if you don't care at all. Like at least hate a character because then at least you get an investment aspect of it. In a lot of those paranormals, there was just indifference. But in here, like I couldn't feel indifferent towards these characters. They definitely, grab you. So I agree 100%. Probably the best one out of the entire series that I saw. I don't know if I saw them all. I've only seen like six of them. But this one was definitely the
I
best
think
one.
that's them all.
Yeah, God
I
damn.
I've
think
seen
there's
them all.
more than six because
No,
I think this one was like the sixth one, and I think there was
this
more
is the
after
fifth.
this one.
This is the fourth, I think, and then the fifth is Ghost Dimension, I think, and then there's Next of
Because
Kin. I think there's six.
isn't there one called Paranormal Activity 4? Just
Yeah.
4? And then I
Oh
think
wait.
you go into
Oh
Ghost, and
shit.
then
Maybe there is
you have
six.
marked ones. Then you have like
Oh
Next of
yeah,
Kin,
maybe.
which I never watched. I
We
think
gotta
they're like
find out.
7 or 8.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them all, and this one definitely is a standout because it's most relatable characters, most likable characters, and the ending is also so good. The ending I was not expecting, and it's such a good ending. I just want to throw that out there too, that the ending's amazing.
Okay,
I
so
don't know if
because
you.
I have to know. So there was Paranormal Activity 1, 2, 3, 4, then the marked ones,
Okay, the mark.
which should have
So
been the
it
one
was
to bring
four
it
that was
back.
losing me.
Yeah. And then
And
you have
Ghost
the Ghost
Dimension.
Dimension, and then you have Next of Kin.
So
So
seven.
If Jose watched Ghost Dimension and Next of Kin first before watching the marked ones, that tells us that marked ones really wasn't a kickstart for a new beginning. They just were like, "Hey, we're back and we're gone."
Well,
Mhm.
it's when I watched the Mark ones, if like I said, the whole thing blends over. So it must
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
by four. It kind of lost me, and it took me a while to watch the next installment, and it felt like a kickstart. And then I must have watched Ghost Dimension. I was like,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Uh-uh.
And then
Oh, Ghost
I've never
Dimension's
seen
Uh,
bad.
the Kin one.
I like the Kin one. It's different, but I like it.
well, I, on the other hand, have only seen one, two, and three. Three is my favorite, which is again saying something because I don't like found footage. But for me personally, I think it was actually escalating to a point because part one was whatever, part two was good, and then part three was like, oh shit, they stuck the landing. Like I started getting more intrigued by part three, and then part three had to me what seemed like a definitive ending. So by the time part four came out, I was just like, why is this happening? Part three ended. Like, and then I saw the marked ones. I was like, what are these Latinos doing here? They have nothing to do with this.
Oh,
Of course, I'm assuming I never watched it. So I'm way behind on this series. Marie and Dan have both told me numerous occasions that I need to watch this movie. And someday I'm going to.
I feel you gotta watch it at least for Latino support.
Do I?
just
I
for
mean,
Hector.
I'm not
Hector
Mexican.
is
I'm
the
Puerto Rican.
best.
We're not 100% the same. They're not making my rice and beans. They're making their rice and beans. I don't know if I have to always support. I'm just saying. I'm just no, but I will say every time Marie and Dan talk about this movie, it does spark interest in me. Like you guys
Yeah.
always make it sound really freaking good. And I was like, I gotta watch this
It's
movie
good.
eventually.
It's fun. It's just I'm telling you, watch it for the characters. They're just so great. I
My
don't
question is,
love Hector.
does it tie in with the rest of the series, or is it just its own
Hmm.
thing?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Damn, I
I
gotta
won't say
watch one.
how.
I gotta watch one, two, three, and four again then.
Yeah, well,
I,
watch one, two, and three. I love them all, and four, I actually like number four as well. I just don't like Ghost Dimension's the only one I don't like. I really don't like it because it doesn't make any sense and it's dumb. But one, two, three, four, and then watch marked ones,
Okay, so the
please.
first five. So six and seven, do they continue to like tie into everything?
Seven is the one that's
Its own shit.
like on its own. Yeah.
Okay.
It's even filmed very differently and I still like it, but it doesn't it's not Paranormal Activity. It should have been its own thing. Yeah.
Well, there we go. I gotta watch marked ones, and Jose has to watch Troll Hunter.
Yeah.
I do gotta
And I have to
watch
watch
Troll
nothing.
Hunters.
You watch The Evil Dead. That's your
Oh
homework.
yeah. Oh, okay, I will. Have to.
You
Yeah.
better.
We're twisting your arm up,
Twist,
Matt.
Yeah.
twist my arm now. I was gonna say.
It's like, oh no, don't stop, don't stop.
Please, no, I can't stand it.
Yeah. Then you can watch Rise.
Wrong. Wrong.
Ugh.
No,
Don't do
no.
that to me.
Well, everyone, thank you for those of us that joined us for this bonus NASS episode where we covered three of our favorite horror movies between 2010 and 2014. We had a little bit of variety this time. We had a remake, we had a found footage, and then we had the fifth installment in a series. So, a little bit of everything. And if you enjoyed this episode and you want to catch up on some of the previous installments that we've done for this segment or other previous episodes, you can find it all on our YouTube channel, and Not a Strong Start. Just make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button down below, all that good stuff, so you can be alerted when we do drop future episodes. We still have two more of this segment to drop. We're going to do 2016 to 2019. And then we're going to finish it off after that with 2020 to 2025 after that. I feel like that one's going to be a little bit harder to choose. There's a lot of recent stuff. But you can find our show on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever else podcasts are found. And if you love all our amazing personalities, or you just want to hate watch us and be your own kind of trolls, then you can find us at Not a Strong Start on all major social media platforms. Me personally, you can find me on Instagram at This Is Mi Nombre.
You can follow me there also at Nicolopolis.
And you can follow me at Replays It All.
And as always, we might not always have a strong start, but we guarantee to sometimes, maybe, possibly have a strong finish. Until next time.